Christine, I heard that you found yourself a new man to be engaged to. I bet you're so proud of yourself for getting there with him. As always, you are able to come out on top. What kind of man is he? I'm your best friend, so you should be willing to introduce him to me sometime soon.
It's been a long time, Gina. You do understand that I have no want to show my fiancé to you, right? Have you already forgotten what you did to me the last time that would make me feel this way?
Are you still complaining about what happened so long ago? That happened so far in the past that I've totally forgotten what happened in the first place.
Well, I have not forgotten what happened, and I never planned to let go of what happened to me because of you.
But it doesn't really matter anymore to anyone, right? You're going to be getting married soon here, right? So you can go ahead and forget about what happened to your last fiancé and move on. Having to drag that unneeded weight with you throughout your life is only going to slow you down.
I have forgotten about my last fiancé, but I will never forget about how my once best friend stole my fiancé right from my hands.
Ah, so this is about all that then. Well, in my case, all of that happened so long ago that my memory of it is really vague. But you should consider yourself lucky for finding a new man willing to marry you. So what kind of man is he?
I told you that I don't plan on introducing him to you, right? Now goodbye, Gina.
Well, do as you please. If you're going to try and keep him away from me, I guess I'll go look for him myself.
What do you mean you'll go looking for him? What the heck are you up to? I don't think he's the kind of man you should be going out looking for. So, can you stop talking like you've gone mad and just leave me and my fiancé alone? I've had enough of you in my life after what you pulled last time, and I'm still pretty speechless from the day I found out. So don't expect to be hearing from or seeing me again.
Even if you don't plan to deal with me anymore, I want to meet your fiancé. If I just apologize to you about the past, will you forgive me and let me come see him?
I'll forgive you as long as you promise to never come around me and my fiancé. How does that sound? That probably wouldn't stop you, so I won't forgive you. Now goodbye.
I'm assuming that you got the invitation to my upcoming wedding, correct? Isn't this just crazy? Did you take a look at it yet?
Yeah, I did take a quick look at it.
How does it feel, Christine? How does it feel to have lost yet another one of your fiancés to me?
I have to say, I never thought you could stoop even lower than you had and do the same crap to me again. But aren't you jumping the gun on that marriage a little too quick? Are you sure it's okay for you to be getting ready to marry him when you've only known him for a few weeks? What I'm trying to ask is, do you really know what kind of man you've just stolen from me?
Him and I both have a burning love for one another, and that's why we want to get married now. Is this what they call a destined marriage? Right now, I'm in his arms, and he's never going to let go of me because we love each other so much, Christine.
You said that the last time you stole my fiancé, Gina. But that time, you and my ex immediately learned that you didn't really love one another and broke up, right?
Well, he turned out to be a pretty boring man after all. But since then, it's been 2 years and I'm turning 30 soon. I've really been wanting to become someone's wife. So I told myself that the next man I get, I'm keeping. So this is all working out perfectly for me. I was able to get a pretty good-looking man from you this time.
Able to get him from me, huh? You were always aiming for him the moment you noticed I had a new fiancé, right? I don't think you just luckily got him from me without any effort.
No matter what you have to say about how I find my men, you're still the one without a lover. He has chosen me and chosen to leave you so that we can get married. And we have both agreed to make that marriage very soon. So no matter how hard you try to get him back from me, it's all going to be for nothing because he's already in my arms for good.
Going to be for nothing, huh? At this point, I'd rather let you have him.
And that's because you're too depressed to fight for him. And I can understand why you're depressed. You were bragging in front of everyone about your fiancé, saying that it was about time you planned to get married. But now he's gone, stolen away by your better-looking friend. And we're going to live the life you wish you could.
Gina, why have you chosen to talk to me today? Does you sending me this invitation to your wedding mean that you actually want me to come to it?
Well, you are my best friend after all.
What? Since when have I been your best friend recently?
I would be happy to have my very depressed and loser of a friend at my wedding to give a speech for me and me fiancé.
You really are the worst.
Will you not do it? I really want a loser like you giving the speech that day. I'm your best friend after all, so that should be all right, right?
Right now, I don't think of you as my best friend. And I'm sure you only want me there on stage so that you can make fun of me in front of everyone. I know about what you plan to do with me when I get there, and I don't want in on it.
I'm not planning to use you as the laughing stock or anything. Rather, I just think it would be fun time. I want to make sure that everyone at my wedding is entertained, and your speech would help us out a lot with that. And I'd like to take the chance to explain to everyone just how fun it was stealing your fiancé from you. Now, I'm going to have this wedding whether you like it or not. So just come and give that speech for me.
Fine, leave it to me.
You're such a great friend, Christine.
I'll make sure to be there on the day of your wedding. And I'll make sure that I'm completely prepared to give a great speech.
And that's the reason right there as to why you're my best friend. I'll be looking forward to the speech, okay?
But in exchange for me coming and giving that speech, can I bring a +1?
Huh? Who do you plan on bringing to my wedding?
I plan to have a very important person come along with me. That should be fine with you, right? You don't even have to worry about them having a seat there or not, as they'll only stay for a short bit. That okay with you?
An important person? You only just had your fiancé stolen from you by your best friend. So who else could be there left to call an important person to you? Are you trying to impress everyone around you again? Well, go ahead and bring whoever that person is. It would be lonely for you to have to come by yourself as the biggest loser after all. I'll be waiting to see what poor sap you drag along.
Perfect. Now I'm really looking forward to that wedding of yours.
Where the hell did you go? You just made my wedding into a mess and ran off like that? Right now, they are considering having this whole wedding put off after what you did. What the hell was up with that introduction?
What do you mean, what was up with it? I was just telling everyone the truth.
No freaking way you were telling the truth. I want to know who the hell that handsome man was. Why was he with you?
I only just told everyone who he was, right? Why are you not willing to believe what I said?
I'm sure that you just paid that handsome man to be your man for the day to show off, right? You brought him with you with the sole purpose of making me jealous.
I'm sure that you know the truth and are just trying to make up excuses in your head at this point, right? But what I told you and everyone else today was the truth. And that speech I gave was just to let everyone know the big secret. But you could also say that today was the day I finally got my revenge on you for what you did to me. Well, it's all over with now, and I've had my fun, so you can relax now as I'm no longer going to do anything to you.
There's no way thought that you just got married to that man. You're lying. And what is this about the man I stole from you being a stalker that's been following you around for ages? Saying that in front of all our guests about my husband is extremely rude.
I'm sorry for that, but it's the truth. He's been stalking me for over 3 months now, and now he seems to have taken a greater liking into you. I'm so glad that you went looking for him, because now he will no longer be my problem.
How could you make me so embarrassed in front of all my guests, though? I still believe that what you told today is all lies, but everyone out there doesn't know that yet, and they have started to believe you. I'm so freaking embarrassed.
Well, to my husband and I, seeing you freak out like that in front of everyone over my speech was so amusing that I almost peed in my dress giving that speech. I really did a number on you today. And not only did my husband and I get a good laugh in, but my revenge is now complete.
Do you have any freaking idea what the hell you've done by giving such a bullcrap speech like that in front of everyone, though? You get back here right now and tell everyone here that you lied to them. If you don't do it right now, I'll never forgive you.
I don't need you to forgive me, Gina. I have never been wanting anything from you this whole time, actually. I just wanted to make you as embarrassed as possible today, and I think I did a great job of that. And the fact that you married that stalker really has made me so happy.
Stop with all that crap right now. Do you not have a freaking heart, Christine? Why would you do something like this to someone?
You think that I'm the one without a heart? Okay.
Huh?
Do you have the right to be saying that I'm heartless after what you did to me? In reality, that man is nothing more than a stalker of mine, but you went after and stole him only because you believed he was my fiancé, right?
And so freaking what?
You see? The only thing that sat where your heart should be is a rotting pile of anger and jealousy. And this was your second time doing that to me, right? The first time you did this, I already knew you were heartless and chose to cut my ties with you. But you did end up apologizing to me for that eventually, and so I let it go for a while after. However, this time you did it again. And had that man actually been my fiancé, you would have scarred me 2 times. That is completely messed up, Gina. When you contacted me the first time saying that you wanted me to introduce that stalker to you, I already knew what you were planning to do.
But I didn't think that by doing this, my whole wedding would be ruined. And if it so happens that what you're saying is true about this Brad guy, then that means he really isn't your fiancé, right?
Well, I did say that he wasn't, right? But the fact that you still went after him and married him is wild to me. Well, it's totally fine with me that you took him away from me because all he caused me was trouble by constantly following me around. You really failed at your goal this time, but as for me, I was very lucky to have you come at me for seconds.
I cannot believe this. Are you sure that everything you said today in that speech is true? I do not want to believe you for a second, but...
Well, if you don't want to believe me, then who am I to care? To be honest, it's probably better that you look away from the truth and keep believing the lies you tell yourself.
This isn't about me believing in some lies or not.
I made sure to lure him out behind me so that you'd run into him thinking he was my fiancé. And it just so happens that you did what I expected you to do. And look at that. You both fell in love with one another, and that's a win for everyone, right? And as for the speech, I made it very entertaining and had a lot of fun giving it. So you should be happy.
Wait, Christine, Brad is telling me right now that he doesn't have a job yet.
Huh? I thought I made his situation very clear to you. At this point, even he's telling you the same thing I said, so he has to be telling you the truth.
And he said that before he did have a liking for you, but that he now is totally invested in me. Even going so far as to look up everything about me. What he's saying about me right now is really scary.
Well, that's the type of creepy stalker that he is. Before he used to work for an investigation agency, but he was fired from there for using the tools that they had to look into younger women and learn about where they lived and such. So after becoming unemployed, he used what he learned to continue doing what he does, and that's stalking. Unfortunately, he lived in the apartment next to mine for a while and began to really become attached to me and follow me everywhere. But soon he couldn't afford that apartment anymore and moved out. However, he still knew where I lived and where I'd go. Luckily, he's on to you now, and you've just married him, making his job of stalking you way easier.
You have to be freaking joking. So he's pretty much learned everything he needs about me?
Isn't that just great, though? You have finally found someone that loves you so much and was willing to marry you. And with him watching your every move now, you'll never be able to cheat or get a divorce from him. Have a wonderful life, the two of you.
He doesn't have a job and will expect me to support him now? If I'd known that he was this kind of person, I wouldn't have forced us to get married so quickly. I thought that When you started to brag about your man so much, this was the man you were talking about. This is the worst, Christine.
Well, whether you feel that this is the worst or not, I wasn't the one that forced you to start dating Brad and choose to marry him. So if you're going to try and blame me for this, good luck. In the end, you were the one that made the choice to take him away from me and then marry him and get yourself into the position you're in now.
He told me that he'd pay for this whole wedding after we got married even. But now he's telling me that he has nothing in his savings. What should I do about all of this? Making me pick up such a creepy man.
Making you pick him up? You were the one that went after him, right? Well, you yourself are a very crappy woman, so the two of you will get along very well together. Must suck to finally learn that the man you went out of your way to steal, thinking that he was my fiancé, has turned out to be a stalker of mine, and in no way my fiancé. And another thing, the way you ended up finding out about me having a fiancé in the first place was because I told my friend to purposefully start telling you about him in hopes that you'd come to steal that stalker away.
Huh? Why would you go out of your own way to tell me that?
Well, it has to do with the fact that you went and stole my ex from me before, so I thought that using Brad as bait for you to fall into my trap would be a great move on my part. And man, did you fall into my trap perfectly. And you ended up taking my stalker away as well.
What the hell? I knew it. I knew that you did this to me.
Well, I never thought that you'd jump to marry him this fast, and was hoping that you'd at least learn who he was before tying the knot. So don't blame all of that on me. You were the one that said yes to marrying him, right? And now you've gotten to learn that he is indeed a stalker, and has no money to his name at the moment.
What?
And he's currently in debt, actually. And I learned that from someone who's worked with him. And so you can believe him when he says he has nothing. I'm sure that he feels like a winner right now, because he found himself a woman that will take care of all his needs and pay off his debt.
You have to be freaking kidding me. Brad is in debt as well?
He sure is. He's in debt and is a huge stalker, so congrats! And now you're going to have to pay for that whole wedding all by yourself. And I hope you look forward to a life of having to support your husband with your paychecks.
This is so messed up. At this point, there's no meaning to this marriage.
Well, you've been waiting to get married and we're looking for a man, right? You should be jumping with joy right now since you finally have your husband. I wish you both the best as you start a new life together. But I'm sure to you, this will be the start of your life in hell. Gina ended up asking Brad about what all Kristen was saying, and he told Gina that she was in fact telling the truth about him and their situation. Gina was furious to hear this from even him, and told him that they would be getting a divorce right away. But Brad was not having it and said he didn't want anything to do with leaving her. Looking at it from the outside, you can see that Gina really did end up doing it to herself and would not be able to run away from Brad easily. And as for Gina's parents who were at the wedding, they were embarrassed about what they learned about her and ended up disowning her after the wedding and cutting ties. Well, Gina really did do a great job screwing herself and would now get to experience what hell is really like. But this is all what she deserves for being such a rotten woman, and I'm sure there will be nobody coming to help save her. As for Kristen and her husband, they were able to go on their honeymoon after they finished what they needed to do at Gina's wedding. Kristen also made sure to block Gina's phone number in order to make sure that Gina would never become a problem for her again. Of course, this may not stop her from coming to Kristen's apartment, but soon her and her husband will be moving into a new home together, and by then, Gina will lose her only way of getting to Kristen.
I heard you've become a paraplegic now. That sucks. Do your best from now on with rehab and things like that.
Hold on a second. Why are you acting so distant from me now, Tyler? It was your fault in the first place for the accident that's left me this way. You understand that, don't you?
I understand that, but I don't care either way.
You don't care about what you did to me? Huh? You were driving drunk and ended up putting me in this terrible situation, and you're going to say things like that about it? What you've done is not something I'm going to let go of. You should at least be at the hospital with me right now. Can you tell me why you're not at my side? Where even are you right now?
I've left the house already. I'll let you have that crappy house. Ain't that great?
What do you mean you've left our house? And you're giving it to me? That house has belonged to my family for generations, so you're not giving me crap.
Is that so? Well, it doesn't matter because I'm out of there already. I left you the divorce paper there to work on when you get out. Make sure to have it handed in as soon as possible.
Huh?
But make sure not to say anything about me driving drunk, okay? You allowed me to drive the car drunk, so we'd both be in hot water at that point.
I tried to stop you, but you never listened to me and kept saying that everything would be okay. Now, what is all of this about you leaving the house and wanting a divorce from me?
I'm getting a divorce from you, Vicky. Should have known that the moment you found out you couldn't move your legs.
Huh? You're serious about that? There's no way you'd actually want to leave me, right? You think you're going to just leave me now that I can't walk but getting a divorce?
That's exactly it. I'm not gonna stay with someone who can't move around anymore.
Isn't that kind of screwed up, though? Especially when this happened to me because of you.
And so what? You and I are still young, right? And I'm not going to throw away the rest of my life having to take care of a paraplegic.
I never said you had to take care of me forever, though.
But I'll have to, right? You can't even stand up anymore, let alone get anywhere without someone helping you. I want to be married to a normal person, okay? I can't even begin to think of what life I'd have to be pushing your wheelchair around forever. Even having to be married to a cripple is impossible. So we're getting a divorce, please. That's fine, right?
I'm without words because of what I've heard come out of your mouth. After causing me to become paralyzed from the waist down due to your own negligence, you're going to ask me to get a divorce now? And your reason for that is because I can't walk now? There's just no way someone would do that or even could.
Say whatever you like about it. This is all going to be impossible for me, having to stay with a woman like you. So can you spare me from having to waste the rest of my life with you?
Waste the rest of your life? You just ruined a large part of my life and you're going to say something like that? Do you really think you're the victim right now, Tyler? This is so screwed up that I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm fine with a divorce now. But don't ever dare come around me after this ever again.
Why would I? There's no reason for me to. Now, you have a good one, and I hope you can get better soon. If you could start walking again, that would be perfect. Well, that won't ever happen, though. They said that you'd never be able to walk again, right? So your best bet now is to become a pro at using that wheelchair. See ya!
This is all so bad that I'm not even going to read your messages anymore. I really messed up by marrying you. Goodbye forever and never come around me again.
I can't believe that I'd meet you somewhere like here. Don't tell me that this whole time you've been trying to stalk me.
I would never and never say something that disgusting about me. I have never wanted to meet with you after you divorced me 5 years ago, okay?
Then why are you here at this company's founding party? This is not the kind of place a woman of your likes should be at.
What do you mean by a woman of my likes? What kind of saying is that anyways?
I'm sure you have an idea of what I meant by that. This is not the place for you to come to. Well, it doesn't matter to me anyway because after leaving you, my life has become so much more amazing.
Huh? More amazing, huh?
I was able to land a job within this brand new company. And right now, I'm going to be going from a simple man to an elite because of it. And this is all because of me divorcing you and getting remarried to someone that allowed me to get to this point.
I love seeing that you're so happy to be here and are willing to talk down to me because of it. But this will be the only time you feel this happy.
Huh? Why are you acting like you know anything about me? Maybe you do because you've been trying to stalk me this whole time. I'll act as though this was all a coincidence as long as you get out of here right now.
Why do you think that this was all a coincidence?
Because there should be no other way that you knew I would be here, right? And I don't want to believe that you're stalking me now. So look around and see how nobody here wants you at this party. Now go! And just to reiterate, I'm so happy that I divorced you. And getting into that accident was like a gift from God, giving me the chance to escape you.
Huh? What are you saying after causing someone to become crippled?
Well, I know I screwed up your life a little, but because of that, I was able to find a wife that's far superior to you. And it's because of her that I've been employed within this company. I'm living my best life right now.
You have no right to be that happy. I was getting so close to forgetting about our past. But now that I've had to run into you again, I've had to see just how much worse of a person you've become. And all of those painful memories are coming back to me.
It was the right choice getting away from a cripple. I was able to marry a beautiful woman, and she introduced me to what will soon be a very powerful company. I'm so freaking happy.
Well, welcome to my husband's company.
Huh?
I didn't come to this party to try and stalk you. I'm here because this company's CEO is my husband.
What are you going on about? Your husband's the CEO?
That's right. Is that a problem for you? I'm happy to see that he's going to be the boss of you. And if you wanted me to prove that he's your CEO, his name is Jeffrey Marcus.
You have to be kidding me right now. Why would he ever be willing to marry a defective woman like you?
How about you ask around about him and I?
Hmm?
I'm sure that you wouldn't know anything about him yet since you're still new here, but I think everyone else here knows about him and I. About how the CEO's wife is in a wheelchair due to being a paraplegic. And that's the reason that he's worked so hard to become a CEO. That's the whole reason that this company works in the medical field with things like prosthetics and wheelchairs.
Huh? Then, hold on. Are you for real?
The woman that you've been talking down to and treating like an idiot is really the woman that's married to your CEO right now.
If that's the case, then I've messed up. You keep all that's happened between us a secret, okay? I'm still a little suspicious about you really being his wife, but please don't talk about us. Don't say a frickin' word. Don't take the career I've just gotten away from me.
Well, everything you've just asked for all is a waste. I'm going to make sure that everything you've done is known.
What the hell? Are you serious? Why would you want to do that to me?
Because I'm a good wife, and I never hide anything from my husband. He already knows about what you've done to me in the past, so... But I'm sure he never noticed that you had been hired to his company yet, so I'm going to have to make that known to him. Oh, I can't wait to see what he'll do to you.
Hold on a second, Vicky. You don't have to do that to me. I had just wanted to see if you were really his wife, and I can see that you are. I think that's pretty insane for you.
The CEO of this company that really loves his wife is going to be pissed. I think he's not only going to have you fired from the company, but he'll make sure that other companies are aware of who you are. I don't think you'll ever have another chance of seeing me again, and that's perfect.
That's not perfect. What are you talking about? Don't say such needless things to the CEO, okay? I've finally been given the chance to work for a huge company like this.
Well, I just told him.
Huh?
He seems to have a little time to talk, so I spoke to him about this. And he blew up when I said things about this, just as I expected he would.
You're lying, right? What?
He told me he's going to take everything that's made your life worth living and throw it in the trash for you. I can't wait to hear about what'll be happening with you next.
Wait, Vicky, can you please slow this down a little? I was just told that I might be fired and was just removed from the party.
If you're going to try and fix it all for this, it's far too late for you. I think this will go just like I said, where you'll be fired from your job soon. And then you'll probably never be able to work a decent job in this city ever again.
I have no idea what's going on. What are they all talking about?
He's telling everyone about who exactly you are and what you did to me. Ah, and don't even bother trying to work the night shift at any of the gas stations around either. My husband is going to make sure that no matter who you try to seek employment from here, they won't take you. Sucks to be you, right? You had only just found a wonderful job and all. But after this, you're going to find it very difficult to make any kind of money in this city.
But you're going too far by allowing all of this.
Could you think about what you've done to me?
What are you talking about, Vicky? What did I do?
You're that far gone then, huh? You had been driving drunk, and with me in the passenger seats got us into an accident that made me lose the ability to use both my legs.
I know about all of that. And I feel a little bad for that.
Well, when you think about who's been going too far with things, look at yourself. And think about your wife for a second.
What are you talking about now? She has nothing to do with this.
Your wife is the senior director's daughter, right? After him and my husband had a talk just a bit ago, the air between them just changed. Did you never tell any of them about what you've done?
Huh? He's the senior director.
I think he's going to have to take responsibility for what you've done and will also be fired if you don't do something. I'm sure you're going to be hated by your wife for this, but good luck.
They have nothing to do with this, though. He's just my father-in-law. He was never even around when everything went down 5 years ago. Asking for him to be fired as well is literally going way too far. Stop it!
Going way too far is all you can say now about what I'm doing. But the only person that took things too far was you after you found out I was paralyzed. And besides, I'm not going to listen to you asking me to stop. My husband is the one that's taking care of all of this, so telling me to stop isn't going to get you anywhere.
But he's your husband, so you can go and tell him to stop all of this. And it's all your fault that this is happening to me.
Really? My fault for all of this? Even though you're the one that's let all of this build up over time? Ha!
Please, can you just look past what I've said today? We could both just act like this never happened and never have to see each other anymore. I had gone through so many hardships to get here, and after finding a wife to help me find this job, I've been living a wonderful life. If I'm going to get fired after this, then all of that would have been for nothing and I'll lose everything I've earned.
Why are you continuing to talk about how hard life's been for you until you got that job when you left me to fend for myself after paralyzing me? You literally called me such terrible things back then and told me that you wanted a divorce only because you wanted a wife that was normal? Do you really think that after doing all of that to me, I was going to let any of this go?
I'm sorry about what I said to you today. I had a few drinks and all, so maybe I was a little too forward with you about what I thought. I never meant to make you remember what happened back then, and I really just wanted to say hi to you.
Well, it's too late now. You're finally going to have to pay for taking my ability to walk freely away.
I didn't ruin your life or anything. That was all due to the accident we got in.
Even if it was an accident, you had been drinking a lot that night and still chose to drive after all my warnings. We had slammed into the light post going 50 miles per hour down that road, and all I remember was that you were outside the car passed out, and I was in the seat slumped over with no feeling past my waist. Such a terrible memory. And it's because of you causing that crash that I'm bound to this wheelchair. The worst thing is that the days after that crash were the worst because you called me horrible things and continued to tell me that you never wanted to care for me. And it wasn't even a week before you had already divorced me and vanished.
Hey, I was young back then and didn't know any better. I didn't know the right things to say back then, and that's why I seemed so cold. Now that I've grown up and know that I've done was wrong. Please understand me.
You've grown up? Huh. After what you said to me today, I understand you completely. You haven't learned a single thing since the accident you caused, and you don't plan to.
Please? Believe what I've said.
I told you that I'd never let any of that go. But I'm sure you even forgot about me saying that back then. Huh.
But there's no benefit to tearing me down like this, right? I told you that I messed up. So please, tell your husband, my CEO, about all of this. Are you happy to see me suffering right now?
Tyler, you know very well that I'm loving every second of this. You try to take my happiness in life away, but hey, I'm actually very grateful for the life I have right now. But even now, I still remember everything that you did to me then, things you said to me then. So now, get ready to enjoy what will be living hell after this. Isn't it great that you ended up divorcing me? But I'm sure you'll find out that it's not great. Rather, it's horrible that you divorced me.
After that, Tyler was fired from his newly acquired position, and the senior director was also fired for his role he played in hiring him. And after finding out about this, Tyler's wife was furious to hear his past caused her dad to get fired and asked that he divorce her for that. And I don't blame her one bit, since he never told either one of them about what he did to me. He really did end up causing troubles for more people than just me, and now he's really going to be buried deep for that. And once that had all happened, Tyler got to experience even more of what Vicky said would happen to him, and he wasn't able to find a single place that would hire him. And since he had nowhere to work in the city, he was forced to move away. Nobody around me has a clue where he moved away to, but I'm sure that wherever he is now, he should be working his butt off trying to start fresh. As for Vicky, she is still being loved by her husband still, and the two of them are living in a romantic life together. Seems that getting that divorce back then was much better for Vicky than it was for Tyler.